Hello everyone, welcome to our Minimalist Setup YouTube channel. The Nothing Phone 3 is the most advanced model Nothing has ever released, with specifications befitting its price point. Here is the review of Nothing Phone 3. Display. The Nothing Phone 3 features a 6.67-inch AMOLED display with a resolution of 2800 by 1260, supporting a maximum refresh rate of 120 Hz. Because it's not an LTPO display, its minimum refresh rate is 60 Hz. The only concern is that the battery might drain more when the screen isn't fully functional, rather than running at 60 Hz. However, as I mentioned earlier, battery life is excellent. I don't think that's a real concern. None of these devices can be used in 60 Hz, 120 Hz, or dynamic refresh rate mixed mode, which changes the screen refresh rate to extend battery life. Camera. If you want to market a phone as a flagship, it's important to have a great camera system. The Nothing Phone 3 features a triple 50-megapixel rear camera system, wide-angle, telephoto/periscope, and ultra-wide. It offers flexibility for all types of photography, including a dedicated macro mode. Overall, the camera is good, or at least good enough. In my early testing, the shutter speed occasionally slowed down, and some photos came out blurry. A recent update after I started writing this review may have helped, as the shutter speed slowdown has decreased in recent shots. Performance? This phone is powered by the Snapdragon 8S Gen 4, a chipset that's a step or two below Qualcomm's top-of-the-line Snapdragon 8 Elite, which powers all of Samsung's top-of-the-line smartphones. The problem is, almost no one using this phone knows what chip it has, because it's as smooth as any other smartphone on the market. RAM and storage. The review unit I received didn't include 16 GB of LPDDR5X RAM and 512 GB of UFS 4.0 storage. Those two things, along with the processor and 120 Hz refresh rate, deliver everything I want in a smartphone. The software is tuned to run fast and smoothly, so even apps like Pokemon Go that aren't as well tuned as the stock refresh rate are perfectly fine. All my other apps, like Chrome, Instagram, Telegram, and the camera, work just fine. If they hadn't told me the chipset when they handed me this phone, I'd have assumed it was a major issue. Does the Snapdragon 8S Gen 4 fall into that category? It works well enough and performs well enough in this device, so it's not a major issue. Battery life. Battery life isn't class-leading, but it's still a decent 40 hours between charges with 5G. Most users will need to charge every other day, and even less with light usage. This is comparable to the 2-year-old Phone 2 and slightly behind its competitors. A 65-watt or higher USB-C power adapter will fully charge the phone in about 55 minutes, and 50% in just 19 minutes. It also supports 15-watt wireless charging. Software. The Nothing Phone 3 currently runs Android 15, with Nothing OS 3.5 installed on top. This is one of the best Android skins. Honestly, in my opinion, it's the second best skin after Google's. Nothing promises 5 years of Android updates and 7 years of security patches. While it doesn't quite reach the level of support offered by Google or Samsung, it's still a decent level. They plan to release Android 16 in the coming months. Minimalism experience. Nothing has incorporated Android into almost every UI element, which often contributes to the clutter of Samsung's UI. However, Nothing maintains a minimalist aesthetic throughout the entire experience. The iconography is consistent and attractive. The built-in apps are seamlessly connected, and the software includes useful home screen options and widgets. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe to our channel.